guys, you're on the front of my paddleboard, and I'm gonna take you a little bit down the Turner River. I had gotten this fancy stand for my paddleboard that iRocker sent me, so that like the camera could be behind me. But then when I got out here, the darn thing wouldn't screw in right. I think I need to get some longer screws than what they actually sent me. But I figured this will work. You guys can take a little virtual tour with me on the Turner. I'm on a paddleboard, so it's a little bit shaky. The old man's balance isn't what it used to be. But I wanted to give you guys a little extra experience, you know, because you earned it. I finally did get my new Starlink satellite, so I once again have Wi-Fi. When I announced that I'd be able to do videos again, I came back from Kansas and my Wi-Fi didn't work, the Starlink, so they sent me a new one. The old Turner River is up quite a bit today. We've been getting a lot of good rains. As far as the typical rainy season of Florida, we haven't gotten near as much rain as we usually do. You know, so although the river's high, you could kind of say that, you know, Florida's kind of been in somewhat of a drought compared to what the rainy seasons usually bring. You know, and I can't help but to want to examine our local patterns, because I'm seeing such big changes in patterns worldwide. You know, China and a lot of places experiencing the worst drought in history. Currently there's an ocean sitting in the middle of Pakistan. As far as a third of that country is completely underwater from flooding. You know, so as a scientist, I'm staying pretty observant to what we're experiencing through the years here in Florida. The harder thing about that is, prior to climate change, there's a pretty thick margin, you know, in Florida weather and everything, as far as there's a big difference in the amount of rainfall that we get each year, for as long as we've tracked it. So it's kind of hard to really make a pinpoint and say what's what. But you could most definitely say that we're experiencing a drier year this year. But I've been down here in years where the rainy season doesn't come till fall, you know, versus starting in the spring. So it just kind of depends. I am keeping an eye on the PSI of my paddleboard. I had to patch my paddleboard when an alligator bit it. But I guess I didn't get the patch sealed all the way, but I was like, hell, I ain't going on and get the patch. I guess I forgot him when I was working out at the house. I was like, I'll float around as long as I can. Now, the trip is probably gonna end when this iPhone gets too hot, guys. So in case this video just ends without an actual ending and me saying goodbye, that's why, is the phone has overheated and shut down. I can tolerate the heat pretty well, but the iPhone can't. You know, then again, human skin doesn't get as hot as metal does. If you've ever touched a car in the summertime out in the sun. It's a beautiful day out here. It's really not that hot. It's just when direct sunlight hits the phone for quite a while, it likes to get a little screwy. I'd say it's probably about 84 degrees with a nice little breeze. Absolutely beautiful. And this river looks like I'm going through a lake compared to what it usually is. when I help out old Jack Sheely down at the Skunk Ape headquarters at Trail Lakes Campground, and guide for him, this is the river that I take people on. This is where they do their tours out of. I kind of go all over the place, but I also, thankfully, don't get seen much as competition among the other people that do eco tours. Mostly because people see what I'm all about, and it's a different sector. You know, most people in the eco tour business in Florida, their customers are tourists, you know, where my customers are the locals, you know, their children. I'm the guy just bringing out the locals and bringing their kids out and teaching them a thing or two, you know. So it's kind of neat how I've been able to set things up, because I don't get as much as that competition vibe as a lot of people do. You know, I don't advertise, for example, that I do tours on this river. If somebody wanted to, like a follower of mine, friend of mine, like, totally do it. But I don't like advertise it, because there's already so many eco tour companies that go out of this exact river. And I don't want to cause the illusion that I'm competition when I'm actually not. I'm a scientist that likes teaching kids on the side. There's a big difference. I know when you share my link in Facebook on the website, it says Eco Tour Agency, but I don't know who the hell put that there, and I don't know how to change it. Beautiful place. Up ahead, you're gonna be seeing a tree that's got a big old osprey nest in it. And the bird who lives up in that nest is the bird who gave me my feather that I wear in my hat. I was right here on this spot, right here. And that bird was flying in circles above me, and then a feather come out and like landed Forrest Gump style right on the water, right by me. I'll put it in the center of the screen real quick. Right there, like in the center. You'll see like that big old kind of black patch up there. That's an osprey nest. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I want to take you guys on a little virtual tour. That way, no matter where you're supporting from, you can still hang out in the Everglades of Captain Planet for a little spiel. Pretend you're on the front end of a canoe with me. It's an absolutely beautiful day. Doesn't get much prettier than this. Got this whole river to myself. Looks like a lake right now. This is way high. This little spot I'm coming up to kind of always looks like a little pond. But right now it looks like a big old lake. But hey, I see we're kind of approaching 10 minutes on this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up, just because I'm not too aware of how long the videos I can make to post up on the YouTube, to post it up on the Patreon. So homies, I hope you had a good time. One love, and thanks for the support, everybody.